everyone, welcome to another exciting session by Digital Vidya. The topic for today's session is building a digital video strategy without breaking the bank. And in this webinar, we'll be tackling two crucial elements which are essential for building an impressive video marketing strategy. The two elements are premium video content creation and video monetization. And we have Karan Gupta, CEO and Beyond Media for leading the session. Welcome Karan and over to you.
Thanks Divya. Hello everyone. I'm glad to be here and thank you for inviting me to do this session. I'd like to start by introducing myself, what I do, what I've been doing, and what and Beyond Media does. I'll take a brief moment talking about that. So I've been in the digital business for over 15 years now. It might sound like it's a long time, but I still feel like an intern or a fresher when it comes to digital, because every time I'm learning something new, the nature of our business. And Beyond Media started off about a couple of years back. We were a legacy native type ad business. We were an ad tech company, and we ventured into building business internationally in the US, UK, in Asia Pacific. We're a strong business in the ad network, in the ad tech native type ad space, and ventured into the video and video content and monetization business sometime this year. I'll be talking about how we utilize a lot of the video capabilities for creating content monetization that we use for our business as well as how you guys can leverage tools and different ways and means that exist out there to build a digital strategy without hurting the pocket too much. So before I get into the presentation, we're on the brink of launching something in the video content space, and hence, video is very interesting to me personally more than anything else, because we see that as a future for communication, for engagement, for scale, where today's audience exists, and I want to spend time and try and help do that with as many people and colleagues and industry veterans who are part of this this entire video movement, where we're talking to creators, tech companies, ad businesses, brands, marketers, whoever's a part of this entire video ecosystem, especially with the surge of what's happening in today's world. So without taking too much time, I'll just start with the presentation. So let's talk about, back in the day, we had the Hall of Famers, different people creating video, product, content, specifically speaking of content, right? When we say video content, anyone who is a huge veteran or someone who's an icon, someone who's a celebrity creating some type of interaction with users, some type of engagement with its audience via videos, via shows, via music, via any other way. People created icons. They were icons created because of that. They were all back in the day, a couple of decades ago, or maybe a decade ago, where we were very used to these icons. Those were the days when we saw a lot of video, not that much video, but a lot of content. It was all mainstream media that was engaging people, a lot of linear engagement with video, and more TV being consumed by people. And those were the Hall of Famers who existed back in the day. And when we look at the times today, it's moved to a completely new zone where you see a lot of Hall of Famers. By what I mean by Hall of Famers is a number of people who are helping the ecosystem by creating platforms or technology or video and content to engage with their audiences by way of reaching them in different spaces, different platforms, different screens, different formats. Times have changed so much where you don't need to actually do something really famous throughout to be on the wall for Hall of Fame. You can actually your claim to fame can actually be something which you do across something that could be relevant to people who are engaged with you or who are following you with through new social strategies or new platforms where people exist. Having said that, what do these guys have in common, right? I mean, these guys have claimed a huge amount of fame in their own genres. Um, just using them as examples so that everyone understands. Just trying to give context before we get to what exactly one can do in terms of video content, video strategy, um, how people can engage with the guys who are the original content creators and how the ecosystem actually exists. They leveraged it really well. They shot to fame on digital using video in a big way, reached hundreds of millions of people, and digital video actually propelled them to superstardom from what they were, back in the day when they were in the early days of trying to be someone, trying to create the content. They used video really well, really smartly, and communicated not only their message or their creativity, but also reached out to the people, created a connect, and kept them going and engaging throughout their life cycle of how they wanted them to be a part of their journey with the video ecosystem that they built around them. So the surge that's taken place has really is something that's growing so fast. I'm sure a lot of you would agree with me. We're seeing that consumer appetites are growing every single day. Doesn't matter where you are, what you're doing, but there was a time where we had literally two things to do in the entire day, and now when I look back and think of how my day was, where I think of there there were times when I used to just come to work, finish work, and leave. But today, that's a very small component of what my day looks like, or what's the time that I spend the whole day doing. I mean, there's so many other engagements because there are so many other things to engage with, online, through content, through video, through streaming, through platforms like social media, through other tons of other places and pieces of content that you engage with every day. And you ask yourself, is work the only thing today that you do? You could be actually engaging with a lot of content and the entire ecosystem that's being created outside of work as well. And that could be work as too, because you're networking with people, you're trying to create an entire one-to-one relationship, you're trying to create entire network of people which exists within the ecosystem where you're trying to build this entire future. Now, the surge has seen a huge amount of content being created in new video formats every single day. We have new hangouts. We have new places where people exist. Video portals like YouTube, Vimeo, Dailymotion, social platforms, Facebook, Insta, Snapchat, number of others, digital publishers and content sites. People are hanging out at so many other places apart from back in the day where they were just used to such few platforms and screens and destinations where they could literally consume video content or content in that manner. OTT platforms, Hotstar, Netflix, Sony Live, Amazon Prime. There's so many more. Voot. There are tons of different places where people can literally exist. They can not only exist as individuals, but they can also consume content and spend a ton of time every day doing that either by interaction, by content consumption, and this is happening every single day with every single one of us. There's so much growth in technology that's enabling content sourcing, content creation, and OTT platforms. So OTT platforms has actually propelled the growth of how people consume media, video, and content. Apart from the traditional days of where the TV was the only place, today people are consuming all this across devices like tablets, smartphones, even your on the go. It's on your gaming devices, gaming consoles, your set-top boxes. It's the whole world is changing so fast that you can literally consume so much content, similar or unique, in so many other places. So it's not what you upload; it's the strategy with which you upload. Will Keenan is a veteran in the TV and production and film space in the US. A very important point here, and a quote that he made. Uh, it's about how you upload and how you use your content well. Because I wish I could just click a nice video of of something funny and hope that it goes viral, but unfortunately that's not how it works. We all know how things go viral, how we need to create the right kind of video content with the right approach, right strategy, right communication, and everything today in today's fast world. Content is at the center of everything, and more so video. It's the video format of the content that's at the apex of this pyramid. Let's look at some insights from what's happening. By 2017, online video will account for 74% of online traffic. That's a huge amount from what it used to be back in the day. We have a couple of things to thank for this number to be so high: infrastructure, availability, data costs, and a number of other tech companies or solution providers, which we'll talk about later in the presentation, who have contributed to how content has been made available. Video content and videos have been made available to people across different platforms and devices. 55% of people watch videos online every single day. 52% marketers believe that video is effective for brand awareness. So as a part of marketing strategies, campaigns, brand strategies, over half of the marketers actually use video as a communication tool to reach their consumers. 500 million people are watching videos on Facebook every day. Snapchatters watch 10 billion videos every day. 43% of marketers would create more video content if there were lesser obstacles in terms of production, in terms of costs, in terms of how find the right kind of quality. It's a wild west out there when we talk about creating video content. So there's just that many who are really good at what they do, and then there are tons of other ways to experiment and try it, but it doesn't come at the first shot. So you got to make sure that you keep working towards using and experimenting with different technologies and platforms and content partners. People spend, on an average, 2.5 more times pages with video than without. This is very interesting for digital publishers, like the application of how sites and mobile sites and apps where people are coming to consume regular articles, text image combination content, like not really multimedia sites, but sites who can use videos to propel the user interactions, the users who are spending time on the sites, because video is a medium that is really engaging. So how do we build? How are we looking at building a great digital video strategy? The 3C approach, as I would look at it, something that I personally have used as a part of the business that we're about to launch. Things that we are looking at utilizing across each of the different objectives of how we want to roll out the business in terms of the content creation, the content platform itself, the technology, how we're going to enable and automate things, and then of course the last one being the revenue channel of how we're going to make money off it. Let's start with the content. Content creation, syndication, and distribution. Personalization is the key. Video content creation is is in multiple ways, is done in multiple ways. Short form to long form. Examples of short form are, the 30-second viral videos, or let's say someone shoots something on a mobile phone. Long form videos are more, say TV shows, like TV shows or movies. A good famous TV show that comes to my mind on Netflix that I've watched and love is Narcos. Uh, Something short form would be, something that comes for like 30 seconds or a minute or a couple of minutes. But it's personalized. I mean, some of the content could be personalized. Some of the video created it's important that it appeals to the users. Emerging content partners offer syndicated content, the likes of Reuters, AP, Timing. Tons of veteran content companies are creating channels and ways of offering original content that is shot and owned by them, that can be offered to platforms and people who want to use it for either syndicating or utilizing it for their own video creation process or efforts. Ton of video platforms enable creators to not only create but also syndicate and distribute their videos. There are video platforms out there offering solutions that help you as a creator. Could be a video creator, video producer who wants to stitch pieces of video content together, or someone who wants to create from scratch. There are creation platforms and tools who help you not only create this video content but also syndicate it, and then build the distribution and help you distribute your created video, so that you don't have to go out there and spend huge amount of money trying to market it or run campaigns and make that available to a ton of eyeballs, where people are either available or hosted or hanging out to watch all this video. Companies offer video content SaaS suited for hosting, managing, and streaming. So there are companies that help you with the end-to-end solution for the video content. SaaS is software as a service. So you would use their platform and solution to utilize that technology for hosting your videos, streaming it, and also managing it like a complete CMS-based website. How do we leverage all of this on digital technology? Because we don't have to worry about the huge servers and mainframes and infrastructure and platform, the hardware for it right now, because there are so many other digital technologies and platforms that are helping you enable you to actually focus on what's important the most, which is the video, the content. How do you create the video content? How do you make it better? How do you make it engaging? How do you make it personalized? It's important that your editorial needs are fulfilled by using technology. So editorial comes from legacy processes, legacy systems, where people are publishing articles or pages and content. Videos being the future of communication and the medium people choose. How do we make sure that that's in sync with that, using platforms that can create and churn and help people use a lot of the already built content and create videos out of it. So how do we make sure that there are different types of platforms that help you turn text to video type of platform, text to video type of technologies that help you actually create these kind of videos and roll them out in such large numbers. Solutions that focus. There are a ton of solutions which actually help you do that. So you can literally take a 100-page website, 100 articles, and then convert them into videos and roll them out. Videos are then displayed across different touch points through players. There's technology for that across devices. So the point being that out of all the digital technology available there, all you need to do is leverage on either one of them, depending on what your focus is. So if your focus is to just create video and not to worry about hosting, managing, and streaming everything, you can work with a partner who can help you do that. There are a bunch of companies who help you with a small amount of fee that you pay them, and then it's not really you actually worrying about how you're going to take care of all the content and all the different types of servers and management and uptime and delivery and speed, right? So today, a user-friendly experience across screens. Today where users are available on mobile phones, smartphones, tablets, gaming consoles. Like I said, set-top boxes, TV. How do you deliver? How do you deliver through OTT platforms? The end-to-end solution of making sure that uh, there is a partner who can take care of the heavy lifting, where you can focus on all your content creation needs, focus on how to make your content more creative and more engaging for the user who's actually there for the content and not having to worry about the technology in between. Coming to the next C, which is context, where a lot of the video created, a lot of the content created has to be relevant. It is important that we showcase relevant, worthy content to the audiences, because that's what matters the most. If you are a video content creator, but you do not actually, you appeal to the user or actually have a connect in terms of what the video content needs to do or needs to fulfill, or what the user is looking for, the entire creativity, the entire quality, or the entire video piece then just becomes completely wasted. There are a ton of examples where people are creating viral videos or trying to create funny videos, but they're not relevant to people. They're placed in areas where they just, people are not looking for that kind of content. But even though it's funny, it might not be, doesn't really get the traction that it deserves. So being in sync with what your audiences are interested in, ensuring that the content that you showcase to your viewers is always fresh and trending. Users are at the center of ensuring that your content, your videos and your content is a success story, because they're the ones who decide whether they want to consume it or not, or make it successful or not. Your job is done only after you actually create it and then try to put it out there to the people. But context and relevance of where they see it, in what environment they see it, makes a huge difference. It makes a very big. It's more about making sure that ensuring the user is in the right context of where he's browsing, where the content appears. It naturally makes the content more viable for being shared or being exposed to more of their communities, their friends, their social engagement, wherever they exist. Because if they are interested in what you're sharing with them and what you're creating, they would definitely pass it on and refer it to other people. A brand's content, it will naturally get the traction it deserves if users are engaging with that in the environment that it is showcased to them, as opposed to actually trying to just place it everywhere and anywhere. So there are a ton of tools that aid high precision content matching. So making a video, taking an example of a video, let's say a comedy video of a cat falling down from let's say cat climbs on a couch and then just falls off, and that's just funny because the cat spills something, or that video needs to be showcased in an environment where people are really just casual browsing or something. It's every little detail of not only the content piece, but where it is showcased, how it is delivered, how we can leverage each and every tech understanding or data or insight of where the user is, what's he interested in, what's been his browsing pattern, what is his demographic, and then deliver the video based on where he's looking to consume the content. Portals like the video portals like a YouTube or a Dailymotion or someone would typically be more of a search video portal, where someone would come in with intent to look for video, but what a good content creator would do is just make sure the video and their video is available in those kind of places, but also make it accessible in other places where users are browsing, like sites or apps or mobile websites, or even, in some cases, if the users are creating premium long form video, then in OTT platforms where users are present to watch shows or clips, or it could be any kind of content that they're looking to engage with. Places like in articles offer effective matching for videos to editorial content. So if there's an article or users browsing a good amount of editorial, like news, or it could be an article published about a certain movie success, or a presidential election, or someone who's just reporting on a disaster in some sense. So each of these video content that has been produced by someone, be it highly creative, funny, or something that's very serious and very trending, which is from today's times, if it's placed well against the article, it tends to get a lot more traction, and we see that there are a lot of trends showcasing that piece of content then ensures that the users spend more time on that particular site or app or platform. Creating cohesive environments with video recommendations and similarity of video pieces. So a ton of people who would like to be recommended videos based on what they are browsing, based on the tags of the videos that they've been watching, or based on what they're interested in from the past, the amount of videos they watched or the time they watched it. So there are a ton of tools, or even the small there are technology platforms when you work with them, these kind of features these kind of features actually make it more effective and more cohesive for the video creator, to build traction across all their users. Having spoken about a lot of content creation and creating context where the content can actually exist, the third and the last, but not the least important C, is how does one really monetize this? How do we, create commerce out of this content business, this digital video? We have a strategy. We have we have content that we're creating. Let's say we are, placing it in the right place. It's all good, but someone needs to pay the bill. And how do we make sure that we create a good commerce, an ecosystem good enough which has an effective commerce and revenue stream to fuel more and more creativity and more digital video creation, because the users are existing everywhere, and I can tell you for a fact that none of this comes cheap, and hence making sure that we have a strong, effective revenue stream is very, very important. A couple of ways that out of experience and out of what we do with our current businesses, is using native as one of the important ways of how do we deliver a right ad monetization or revenue out of how we monetize a lot of the video content. Investing in native video and branded video ads, where talking to advertisers, marketers, brands, when video content creators, digital video creators are all building pieces of either short form video, long form video, need to have relevant and the right kind of association with brands and advertisers who create these videos not only in environments which are just cohesive to where the content exists, but also keeping in mind that users were once upon a time who were used to the TV medium would still want to exist in that same way where they consume content in a similar way on TV or even online, would want to consume their advertising and their native ads and watch their branded video ads in the similar fashion in the digital space. So pre-roll ads, native video ads, in placement, in article ads, outstream ads, a ton of ways that people can use native as a strategy to offer a lot of different types of effective video monetization based on how they create these ads. on value churn. So while you create every single video piece, keeping in mind that it's tracked well, it's analyzed well, and you place the right kind of ads against the right kind of video content, it's very important that the right effective ad is placed against the right kind of video piece, so that users can feel it like it's like a part of their content experience, and not really be worried about someone trying to sell them a product while they're engaging with their video content, and in their frame of mind trying to be pushed around, being sold by different types of brands. So that overcoming the ton of challenges with that the video industry in general in the digital space sees that there's a lot of in-stream crunch of inventory with a lot of large brands, publishers, sites, portals, and even OTT platforms for that matter. Because of the consumption of video, brands like and advertisers, marketers, they like to latch on to this opportunity to reach out to all their audiences through this video medium. It's a hot medium, and there are a ton of challenges where content creators and digital video platforms are finding it difficult to create more inventory to offer brands to sell advertising. So what's happening is, it creates increased demand and lowers the supply needs. So there's a huge discrepancy between demand and supply, and there are ways of creating native placements which helps that problem to get solved by creating a video ad placement within articles, or within places across video experiences, by interstitials or native placements of video ads and branded video ads, helps overcoming some of these challenges. Native also enhances your user engagement by offering more transparent and immersive experience. So while you're browsing your video content, you're not really disturbed by stuck to a 60-second or a 30-second or 3 minutes of just ads which are thrown at your face, but you can literally on demand choose to do what you want to do while consuming your content, and not having to worry about consuming a lot of the ads. The ads are stitched in so well with the content that they are made relevant. They don't turn out to be annoying, and they only get showcased to those users based on their what their journey of their content consumption has been. It's completely transparent and immersive, so you're not really it's not out there in your face. There's a ton of solutions which help you manage an end-to-end video revenue for content creators across different platforms. There's solutions that help you manage right from setting up campaigns, taking care of making sure what kind of ads you want to showcase to what kind of users, what time of the day, prime time, or specific afternoon times, or any other time that you want to set up. Managing the end-to-end video revenue can be handed over to another platform, because you can then focus on creating your content, or you're sticking to the core that's helping you build digital video and reaching to your consumers, and thinking of more creative ideas doing that, as opposed to really worrying about platforms and how to effectively optimize and make the revenue, where tying up or partnering with someone can take care of that and make sure that happens for you. Also, to adding to not only the native placements and how ads would appear on these pages, but me personally, I feel because the way things are moving, technology is growing so fast, and people are adopting to so many other ways of interacting with video content and digital video and digital in general, that programmatic is becoming a huge opportunity, and delivering ads and delivering not only the content but also the ads, and showcasing some of these branded video ads and native ads and all these different types of video formats to users through programmatic channels and ways can only help achieve scale with the way things are growing. We have a we have we have an exponential rate of how users are growing across the internet, smartphone consumption, mobile phone, mobile web, and mobile app consumption, video consumption, like we saw in earlier slides. We need to make sure that everyone is spoken to at a scalable fashion, because there's no way that one user is at one place at one point in time. That same user needs to be spoken to or delivered an ad or monetized across screen, across device, and across platform. So it's very important that programmatic is if people are not already doing it, then that should be something that they should look at moving forward. It's not just for people like who have big pockets and large budgets and huge amounts of data. Programmatic helps. There are solutions and companies that are helping you do programmatic advertising and programmatic delivery of ads, and help you as a content creator to monetize your video and content through supply partnerships as well, where putting it out in programmatic channels and ways of monetizing helps in effectively taking care of all the other need from a revenue standpoint, apart from the direct advertising that you sell directly or offer directly to your advertisers. Programmatic itself has evolved so much. I mean, ad formats and like header bidding and delivering impactful performance for small and large players, like header bidding and multiple other phenomena in programmatic is helping video advertisers as well as supply partners and publishers to actually leverage these kind of technologies to deliver better user ad experiences, to not really hamper the video ad ecosystem. Programmatic investments ensure that you get the best bang for your buck. You don't have to necessarily invest everything right at the start. You can partner with a few tech companies. There are a number of large ad tech businesses, ad tech companies that help you deliver programmatic experiences, ad experiences. They operate more like a pool or a pipe of ads, or someone who is a video content creator or someone who wants to monetize their videos can open up all their content to different partners like a Facebook or a Google or any of their channels and platforms. They can basically help in monetizing by programmatic means, no matter what type of video content piece or digital video that they are putting out there. And machine learning, I didn't touch upon this too much, but during the context section, but I would like to speak more about it in relation to context as well. AI and machine learning is the future, along with the way content is being delivered, it's being monetized. It's going to become so much more important that highly targeted and effective delivery of ads and content is going to still be stitched together, being stitched together, and creating that ecosystem will be the holy grail of how a successful digital video business could really make it big, or someone could really make sure that all these different small pieces coming together would then make sure that a success story for a video content creator or someone who is just a supply distribution partner or a technology company or a brand marketer could use machine learning AI with their own data and their insights to deliver the right experience, the right ad, and create the right environment for engagement for today's and the users to come in the future. So to conclude, digital video is a crucial component of content. Like we said, it's becoming the hot medium for content consumption across all of the millennials, the next wave of users consuming content, consuming that in the right context. So making sure that each of those users are consuming it in the right space, the right relevant environment, and of course, being monetized as well, so that the entire loop and the entire ecosystem gets fueled with the right kind of revenue to keep creators going, to keep technology companies going, platforms going, as well as the commerce that takes place for the marketers who spend the money to advertise to these users. Brands, content creators, and tech platforms today are more likely to succeed if they implement a video strategy that operates in real time, using these new age technology platforms and solutions that are offered out there, and is both engaging and scalable, keeping the video content engaging, keeping it fresh, keeping it trending, showcasing in the right relevant place, and ensuring that the partners who they work with are helping them scale with effective revenue monetization as well as delivery of their video content creation. Thank you very much. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to take that. And you can reach me at my email ID as well. I'd be happy to connect with you guys offline post this webinar.
Thank you so much, Karan. Everyone, you can just put in your questions in the questions panel on the right-hand side, and we'll take up all your questions one by one. And I'm also launching out the poll for people who are interested into a digital marketing course. You can select yes or no, or if you're already a participant of Digital Vidya. And in the meantime, we should start picking up questions. So the first question is by Anuj. He wants to know what seems to be more futuristic, videos or augmented reality or VR?
So that's a good question, Anuj. And just taking a step back, right? I mean, video itself is a part of a lot of content. So I would like to say AR and VR are more, they're more, I would like, space age kind of technologies at one point in time when we were back in the day creating video content. But, if we look at video, it is something that has been carried forward as a legacy from back in the day. Consuming that video on TV, consuming that video today on different devices and screens. AR and VR is something that is definitely out there, but in its early stages. So I wouldn't like to compare it as such, but it's at the brink of a lot of large companies like an Apple and Google who are investing heavily in trying to create that ecosystem today. Whereas when you compare and look at video, the future of video is already today. Technologies like AR and VR are something that are still going to go through a huge learning curve, a huge growth cycle. There's going to be a lot of other companies participating, platforms, communities being a part of that. So it's important we look at, these in slightly different perspectives. Video is a legacy medium as well as compared to AR, VR as a technology. It is the future, but it's definitely not going to take away the role that video plays for a lot of people in today's ecosystems.
Thank you so much, Karan. Ikra and other people who have joined in late for the session, we will share out the recording with you. We will send out the recording latest by Tuesday evening. So you can just access your email and watch the complete session recording. So moving to next question, it's by Dhaval. Dhaval wants to know some quick tools which are available to make good quality videos, especially for the people who are not really tech savvy or who don't know how to create a video.
Sure. So there are the legacy tools if you're not very tech savvy. So let me divide this in two parts. One, when we look at high quality production video, we look at you look at Movie Maker, you look at a ton of other applications developed by an Apple or a few other companies. Those are all production-based, heavy duty applications. Some of the tools that I was referring to when I spoke about creating a ton of videos on the fly and using text-to-image, text-to-video technologies, there are examples like a Watch It or a Wibbits, Inform. These are companies that are today helping companies, create this kind of video creation. It depends on what your objective is, but when you look at tools, there are a lot of simple tools to help you stitch together, not only tools, but even apps for that matter, that help you stitch together small clippings of videos or make a small movie for 30 seconds or 1 minute, or a lot of short form video using images, text, and superimposed, you know, kind of experiences on video clippings. But there are, if you look at these companies, they're all primarily focusing on markets like the US and the West, where people are actually trying to build a large video ecosystem.
Thanks, Karan. Ikra wants to know how he can actually make his videos engaging and how can he check back his current videos because he's getting very low level of response from the videos he's promoting.
So I mean, it's a little subjective to be to understand what exactly is being done there, because it completely depends on the genre of the video content. It depends on where it's being distributed, what kind of audiences are engaging with it. So more than commenting on what's being done, I can tell you what's a good way to do it. Utilizing your content with the right, with the right kind of, the creativity is something that is very subjective to how you create, right? So I can tell you that putting your video piece or video content out there in platforms like YouTube and hoping that it just, becomes a rage or a viral piece of content is something that is not true. It's just a myth, because the way the content consumption trends and people, the way they consume content today, it's important that your video and your content is placed in relevant and areas, is placed in relevant environments and platforms and sites where people are actually coming to look for browse that kind of content. So you could look at platforms outside of YouTube and Facebook as well, who help you reach these kind of destinations where people are browsing and looking for your content, and then definitely monetizing it with similar platforms too.
Thanks, Karan. Next question is from Arno. He wants to know what are the best platforms where he can promote his videos organically.
Well, if it's organic, organically, then it's the obvious choices are YouTube and Facebook, and I'm sure he's already doing that. But there are a couple of other platforms where you could leverage distribution. We're launching a business in that same space, where in an end-to-end solution to actually come and distribute your content, monetize it, deliver it to different users across the sites, different sites that we work with. There are multiple other companies like us who do this effectively. Even for example, Dailymotion or Vimeo, and a number of other companies like that are not only video portals now today, but they also work with content creators to build channels together, to build, and you'd be surprised, but some of them even actually fund some of the content creators to create content for themselves. So a lot of them are becoming production houses to promote content creators who are budding, who are trying to build a platform for themselves. But I would definitely recommend that just by putting your video out there on YouTube is not enough. Or even on Facebook for that matter. There's a lot of discovery that takes place and intent for people to find that content piece. But today, when you talk about promoting your your creative, the piece of video that you've actually invested time and effort and probably some money in, I can definitely tell you names and suggest places you can promote that offline. So if we can connect posters, I can recommend some of those. Specifically depending on what your objective is.
Thanks, Karan. Isha wants to know how does header bidding works.
Wow, it's actually a new phenomenon for programmatic. It is, I'll tell you in a nutshell because it's highly technical. So what programmatic does is basically it creates an RTB for every single. It creates a real-time bidding environment for every single video ad request. So whenever you're watching a video piece, the the player or the partner sends an ad request for receiving an ad in a real-time auction. And when that real-time auction takes place, the ad is whoever bids the highest or whatever the auction mechanism is, that advertiser gets to showcase the ad against the video. What header bidding does is it creates a private auction before it even reaches that particular video content. So it actually defeats the entire latency and time taken for this entire auction and the entire delivery of the ad to take place. So as soon as the video content is ready to be delivered and consumed by the user, the platform that is delivering that to the user is already ready with an ad because it's been auctioned in the header before it reaches the actual time of delivery of the content. So it's just a slightly more advanced programmatic way of delivering the ad to the user.
Got it. Thanks, Karan. Kumar wants to know how can video marketing help business which is into pharmaceutical marketing and also provide solutions to patients and healthcare professionals.
So the way, pharmaceutical or healthcare, I'm not too sure about how exactly that industry, I don't have any use cases, I'm sorry, but I don't have any examples specifically for that industry. But I can tell you, by creating a video ad or video marketing using a 30-second ad or a 60-second ad to reach out to, say, your B2B, say doctors or anyone else who you want to promote your product or your maybe your institute to, a 30-second ad would just be the first step, or I would say the initial organic way to do it. A lot of brands and different marketers are using video in more innovative ways, like creating pieces of content which actually helps their brand talk to the consumer in more lighter and subtle ways, as opposed to just going out there and saying, hey, this is the pill, or this is the syrup that you need to buy, or this is the institute you need to come to, or we take care of you. And so they basically create environments using small video content pieces put together and delivered to those users in the right kind of relevant environments, so that the brand connect is much stronger and more long drawn, especially even in B2B environments, unless you have a more B2B2C kind of strategy. But irrespective, it's something that a lot of brands and marketers are adopting today. Creating content ads, creating branded content ads. Some of the ads, if you browse a lot of video, which I'm sure you do, you would see that a lot of the ads today don't even have any brand or product that's sold within it. It's just it's a content piece that just subtly talks about how how they're existing in that particular category or that particular space, because someone associated with a certain, like, let's say someone's associated with Father's Day. You don't have to go out there and talk about it. You can just show the emotional connect between a son and his father, or a daughter and his father, and just subtly immerse the brand message within that, as opposed to going out there and saying, hey, you can buy this product for your father, or something on those lines.
Thanks, Karan. Nazir wants to know what is the ratio on which big MNCs spend their TV ads and video and digital videos budget, and how is it decided?
That's a good question. But it's ever changing, because it's changing really fast. There are so let me answer that in two parts. Part one, what's the current split on how people are looking at that? In countries like US, the digital video ad spend is more than TV. In countries like UK, same case. There are about 10 or 12 other countries which are moving in that direction. India is still a little behind, where people spend, like MNCs and different big brands spend a lot of money on TV compared to digital video right now. But digital video is catching up really quickly. it's not really a deciding factor between whether to spend on TV or digital video. Today, people look at digital video as an extension or another medium as opposed to an alternate to TV, because a lot of the people look at TV as a different kind of medium because of different kind of messaging, whereas that same brand can talk to its consumers on digital video platforms and mediums there, with a different type of creative or a different type of messaging. The skew is greater in favor of TV in markets like India, where um, obvious challenges are helping digital video only grow at that rate, and adoption too. But today, when we look at the way the consumption is trending, I'm sure a lot of the markets, majority of the mature internet advertising markets, will see digital video ads, ad spend grow up more than TV, and because of the fact that you can literally create different kind of content pieces, different kind of ads and content messaging for those ads in different platforms, like some in YouTube, some in Facebook, and a completely different one when you talk about something like a Hotstar or Netflix.
Thanks, Karan. Narendra wants to know that he saw some of those BB Wines videos in which people, it was marketing products. So does this comes into video marketing?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? I didn't quite catch the last part.
He saw a video in which they were promoting a product. So does that comes
Yes.
into video marketing? Yes, it does.
Yes, completely. I mean, like so when we speak of video marketing today, we video advertising, video marketing is the idea of just showing an ad is completely changed. It's how you engage today. It's how you create video content, which is also an ad. But I would argue about the fact that it's an ad because it's not really out there going and selling anything directly. It's creating an environment for people, for brands and people who talk to their consumers. So video content marketing, and video content pieces are all helping and supporting the video advertising, digital video advertising ecosystem, because it's it's it it's helping create that brand awareness, that entire ecosystem online and in digital. Because when brands talk to their consumers, they don't have to necessarily put out there in your face.
Thanks. Arno wants to know what should be the minimum length of a video along with the maximum length to get the engagement.
Um, so if you're looking at your content and your core creativity being showcased within environments where people are consuming short form content, like a couple of minutes or 3 minutes or 4 minutes, uh, that's classified as short form. So people who are in those environments, a few minutes would be good enough. um, a minimum obviously would be 30 seconds to 60 seconds, but the minute you go beyond 3 minutes and 4 minutes, that gets classified into medium form. So there's so look at imagine a world where 100% of people are watching video. Right now, I don't have exact stats, but I'm not sure who actually tracks this. But short form, medium form, and long form. So long form being the Netflix and the OTT kind of environments, where Amazon Prime, where people are consuming shows and movies and stuff, versus short form. So if you're creating something for that kind of platform and that distribution and that strategy, then you 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 should look at 20 minutes to 30 minutes worth of duration for videos, versus medium form, which is in the say 7 to 10 to 12 minute, and then you have the short form, which is a couple of minutes.
Got it. Thank you. Nazir wants to know, is there any way to find audience engagement in outdoor videos?
I'm sorry, audience engagement in what kind of videos?
Outdoor videos.
I'm not clear exactly what the question is.
Nazir wants to know, is there any way we can actually find out how many people engage with the videos which were being displayed out of door, maybe in public places or some hoardings?
Sure. I mean, so I didn't touch upon a lot of that too much because that's a little fragmented space. When we look at a video piece or a video content that's showcased in digital OH or other places in store and stuff, it's a very fragmented space. When we speak of digital video, majority, which is 90+% of everyone's eyeballs and efforts are all with to do with digital video platforms like OTT or desktop, like mobile, smartphone, tablet. Those kind of places, those kind of mediums and touch points are all operating a lot in silo. As much as some of them are trying to build a strategy where you want to know what happened to your content or your ad when you spoke to someone on Facebook versus someone on a website versus someone who actually took a decision to go in store and buy that product. But this is something that even Google is struggling to find the right kind of ecosystem to complete the loop. But in silo, if you ask me, those touch points and mediums are not so effective as definitely not as effective as the other ones in the digital ecosystem.
Got it. Thank you so much, Karan. I think we are good with the questions. And thank you everyone for attending the session. It was wonderful having you all here, and it was wonderful having you, Karan, share your experience with all of us. And thanks for taking your time out. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.